Part 1. The quiet house, the loud bladder. You've done everything right. No coffee after lunch, a small glass of water at dinner, even a lavender pillow. Yet the night still splinters into 3 for trips to the bathroom. The hidden flaw? Most advice treats the bladder like a faucet. For people over 50, the real culprit is often fluid shifting in the legs, a twitchy overactive bladder, or medicines that nudge the body to make more urine after dark. The stakes are not small. Solid sleep steadies memory, balance, and mood, the pillars of independence. Here's a tiny frame to start tonight. Set a simple checkpoint. If you go to the bathroom more than twice after lights out, today counts as a problem night. Your first win to aim for is 1 fewer trip within 3 evenings. If that happens, you're on the right track. A second immediate step that surprises many. In the late afternoon, gently move fluid back into circulation before bed finds it. 10 quiet minutes with your legs up on the couch or a pillow, then a slow walk around the living room. Then 1 calm bathroom visit before you lie down. If you've noticed swollen ankles by evening, this simple sequence often eases nighttime urination, safely and without pills. The doctor's angle you rarely hear. Doctors who focus on sleep and urology often point to 3 patterns that make older adults pee at night. First, fluid pools in the legs during the day and returns when you lie down, so the kidneys make more urine when you most want to sleep. Next, the bladder can become jumpy. The detrusor muscle squeezes at smaller volumes, especially after menopause or with prostate growth. Finally, timing matters. Some blood pressure pills and evening teas quietly act like diuretics. When you address these 3 together, results can come fast, sometimes within 3 evenings. Even though every body is different and any plan should be tempered by your own doctor's guidance. A kitchen light at 2 in the morning. Marilyn, 68, from Oregon, kept her hallway night light on a blue glow. She'd pad past the family photos, her late husband smiling in a sun-faded frame, 3 times a night, each trip stealing a little more warmth from her sleep. Her feet were cool on the tile. The house smelled faintly of cedar from the porch. By morning, she felt hollow-eyed and impatient with herself. A visiting nurse noticed her soft ankle impressions at dusk and suggested a reverse tide ritual. Each late afternoon, Marilyn slid a pillow under her calves while she listened to the local jazz station. After 10 minutes, she swung her legs down, walked slow laps to the window, and then sat on the toilet without rushing, breathing out as she emptied. What nurses call a relaxed double void. The first night, 2 trips instead of 3. The third night, only 1. She cried a little in the dark, from relief more than anything. What this means for a 50-plus listener. Shifting a small routine to move leg fluid before bed can quickly reduce nighttime trips. The 3-evening reset, instructional block. First, 2 hours before bed. Rest your lower legs on a cushion so your heels are slightly higher than your knees. Breathe slowly and let your ankles feel light. Next, stand and take a short, gentle walk around your home for 5 to 10 minutes so the calf muscles pump fluid back toward the heart. Then, sit on the toilet and let your pelvic floor completely relax. Lean slightly forward, support your elbows on your thighs, and allow a calm, full void. Wait a moment, reposition, and try once more to empty, a soft double void. Finally, lie down. If you wake in the first hour, resist the reflex to get up, breathe slowly through the urge for a minute, and only rise if the sensation truly persists. You are teaching the bladder to stretch again. These steps are simple and generally safe, but if you have heart failure, kidney disease, or severe swelling, discuss leg elevation and timing with your clinician. Why this matters more after 50. Hormonal shifts thin the bladder lining and change nerve signaling, so urges feel sharper. Prostates grow and can slow the outflow, so the bladder squeezes more often. Calf veins get less springy, so fluid pools by evening. Add in common nighttime triggers, late herbal teas, a glass of wine, or a blood pressure pill scheduled after dinner. And Nocturia, the medical name for frequent urination at night, becomes a nightly visitor. None of this means you're broken. It just means your routine needs senior savvy adjustments. A tiny test to see progress fast. Keep a simple note by the bed. How many trips? And ankles puffy at dusk? Yes/no. If ankle puffiness shrinks and bathroom trips drop by even one within 3 nights, your reset is working. That quick feedback is your fuel to continue. The promise and the caution. When older adults pair afternoon leg elevation with a calm double void and smarter drink timing, many see fewer night trips, steadier balance when they do rise, and warmer, uninterrupted sleep stretches. Ignoring the issue may be associated with grogginess, falls on the way to the bathroom, and foggy mornings. If symptoms are sudden, painful, or come with fever, burning, or new bedwetting, seek care promptly. Infections and other conditions need medical attention. If this first piece already sparks a small aha, tell me one change you'll try tonight. Your comment may nudge someone else toward a better night. Part 2. The night the body forgets to rest. For many over 60, the cruel irony is this. The body finally slows down, but the bladder speeds up. You drift into sleep, only to feel that urgent pull again. It's not weakness. It's physiology that's shifted quietly under your skin. As we age, the brain's signal that tells the kidneys to hold off at night fades. The hormone vasopressin, which normally concentrates urine while you sleep, declines. The result? More urine production when you least want it. And yet, few doctors explain that you can coax this rhythm back into balance. Gently, through timing, warmth, and habit. Here's a quick way to know you're improving. If you wake to urinate but fall asleep again within 10 minutes, that's a sign your bladder reflex is calming. Each night that happens is a step toward full nights again. The warm-up trick that helps the bladder sleep too. A warm body sleeps, a cold core signals alertness. But the bladder, too, is temperature sensitive. Many older adults find that cool feet or lower legs trigger urgency. The nerves in that area overlap with pelvic nerve roots. When you warm your feet before bed, socks, a warm compress, or gentle foot soak, the bladder muscles often quiet down as well. Try this. About 30 minutes before bed, soak your feet in comfortably warm water for 5 minutes. Dry them well, then slip into soft socks. That simple comfort sends a settle signal through your parasympathetic nervous system, the same one that steadies your bladder. It's a ritual as old as rest itself. Story: the truck driver's return to quiet nights. Jack was 71, a retired truck driver from Kansas. His wife used to joke that he knew every highway diner restroom in 3 states. After retirement, his night trips rose to 5. It was like my body thought I was still on the road, he said. Each time, the cold air on his feet woke him fully. By dawn, he'd sit in the kitchen watching the sky lighten, exhausted before the day even began. One winter evening, he read about a sleep soak for overactive bladders, 5 minutes of warm water before bed. Skeptical but desperate, he tried it. The first night, 3 trips. The third night, 1. The 7th, none. His wife said he started humming again in the mornings. What this means for a 50-plus listener: warmth before sleep can calm bladder nerves and help restore longer sleep cycles. The micro-habit that teaches control back. After 50, many people notice that even when they feel the urge, only a small amount of urine passes. That's because the bladder muscle has become overreactive, squeezing before it's full. The fix isn't to hold it till it hurts, but to retrain the muscle with small, safe pauses. When you feel an urge during the day, take a slow breath, then distract yourself with a light hand movement, buttoning a shirt, tapping the counter for 60 seconds. If the urge fades, your bladder muscle just learned to relax again. Over time, those micro-delays strengthen control. At night, that same conditioning helps the brain distinguish between false alarm and real need. Many seniors who practice this see improvement within a few days, less frequent, calmer urges, and longer stretches of true rest. The emotional cost of sleepless nights. For older adults, lost sleep doesn't just mean fatigue. It often steals patience, focus, and joy. Studies show that Nocturia triples the risk of falls, impairs memory, and fuels anxiety, especially in people living alone. But behind the science are human moments. The sigh in the hallway, the creak of the door, the whisper of sheets as you climb back into a cold bed. These are the details that quietly wear away confidence. Each night you reclaim even one uninterrupted hour of sleep. You rebuild that confidence brick by brick. That's why the 3-day reset matters. It's not only about the bladder. It's about waking up steady, rested, and ready to move without fear. The subtle before bed check that predicts success. Before you turn out the light, ask yourself, do my legs feel light? Do I feel warm below the knees? Did I visit the bathroom calmly, without rushing? If the answer to all three is yes, your body is already aligned for fewer night trips. That's your pre-sleep success cue. Those who skip this quick scan often miss hidden triggers: cool feet, tense pelvic muscles, or lingering urgency. But those who pause and reset, even for 30 seconds, send a powerful signal to their nervous system. It's time to rest, not react. Have you ever tried a warm foot soak before bed? Share your experience in the comments. It might help someone else find their first full night's sleep. Part 3. The 3-day reset in motion. Most people think fixing nighttime urination takes medication or months of bladder training. But a growing number of urologists quietly teach something simpler: a 3-day behavioral reset. It combines timing, body position, and temperature in a pattern that retrains your kidneys and bladder to rest at night again. The rule is short: guide your fluids, guide your body, guide your nerves. Within 3 evenings, you may notice the first deep, unbroken stretch of sleep in months. The afternoon shift that changes the night. For years, Linda, 65, from Arizona, assumed her nighttime trips were just aging. She gave up evening tea, limited water, yet still woke twice a night. Then a sleep nurse explained, the bladder's problem often starts at 3 in the afternoon, not 3 in the morning. Linda was skeptical until she tried it. Every afternoon at 3, she drank her last large glass of water and stood to stretch her calves for a full minute. Around 5, she rested her legs on a cushion for 10 minutes. She took her blood pressure pill right after breakfast instead of before bed with her doctor's approval. By the 3rd night, she slept 6 straight hours, her first in a decade. She woke smiling into the dark, confused that it was morning. What this means for a 50-plus listener: controlling fluid timing and leg circulation before sunset can dramatically reduce urine output at night. The reset routine, instructional block. First, choose a 3-day window when your schedule allows calm evenings. Next, begin hydrating early. Drink most of your fluids before mid-afternoon. Between 4 and bedtime, sip only small amounts when thirsty. Then, around sunset, elevate your legs on a pillow for 10 minutes, followed by a slow walk. Visit the bathroom calmly right afterward to empty residual fluid that shifted from your legs. Finally, about 30 minutes before sleep, warm your feet through a short soak, a heating pad on low, or thick socks. End with a relaxed double void before lying down. Track each night. How many times did you wake? How rested did you feel? Improvement in 2 or 3 nights suggests your body is regaining its circadian control over urine production. Why 3 days can make a difference. Bladder nerves respond to pattern, not force. After 50, the brain and bladder communication line weakens when signals fire at random times. When you stabilize timing, same fluid schedule, same pre-sleep calm, same warmth, the body begins to predict and reduce night urine output. It's not magic, it's biology finding rhythm again. Those who ignore timing often double down on restriction, drinking too little during the day. Ironically, that makes the body hoard water and overproduce urine later. Balance, not deprivation, is the secret. Story: the farmers returned to full nights. Harold, 73, used to rise 4 times a night. A retired farmer in Iowa, he'd spent decades waking early to check on calves, and his bladder seemed trained to the dawn. I thought it was just me being old, he said. When his daughter showed him a small study about nocturnal polyuria, nighttime overproduction of urine, he tried the 3-day reset as an experiment. By day 3, he only woke once. By the end of the week, his wife noticed he no longer snored himself awake. It's strange, he laughed. I sleep like I used to when the kids were small, deeply, knowing everything's fine. What this means for a 50-plus listener: the body can relearn better rhythms even after years of poor sleep. The hidden benefit few expect: as night urination calms, something else shifts. Blood pressure often stabilizes, and morning dizziness lessens. The body that rests better at night balances fluid and hormones more efficiently. Researchers have even linked improved sleep continuity to sharper memory and lower fall risk. So when someone tells you it's just aging, remember, aging changes physiology, but habits can rewrite signals. If this reset already makes sense to you, leave a note below. Would you try it for 3 nights to test your results? Part 4. The bladder-brain connection. The bladder doesn't work alone. It's wired into a deep network that includes the brainstem, spinal cord, and the same nerves that control breathing and heart rate. That's why calming the mind can quiet the bladder, and why anxious nights often end with another trip down the hall. For older adults, this mind-bladder feedback loop becomes more sensitive. Stress hormones rise faster, nerves misread signals, and a small urge feels urgent. But here's the quiet miracle: you can teach your bladder to wait by teaching your brain to slow. A simple sign that you're improving: when you wake at night and can pause for a slow breath before moving, you've already shortened your body's stress cycle. Every one of those pauses builds resilience into your bladder reflex, the breathing cue that changes everything. When you feel the first nighttime urge, sit up in bed and rest one hand low on your belly. Inhale through the nose for a slow count of 4, letting your stomach rise. Hold gently for 2 beats, then exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this 3 or 4 times. Most people notice the sharp urgency soften. Why does it work? Because your bladder and diaphragm share nerve roots. When the diaphragm expands and relaxes, it signals the bladder to do the same. It's not mystical, it's pure anatomy. Story: the teacher who found peace in breath. Elaine, 62, a retired schoolteacher from Vermont, used to wake 3 times a night with a panicked jolt, the kind that races the heart. She said it felt like my body forgot it was safe. After reading about diaphragmatic breathing, she began to experiment. The first night, she placed one hand on her chest, one on her abdomen, and counted softly in the dark. The first breath barely helped. The third felt different. The urge eased. She still went to the bathroom, but she didn't stumble or rush. Within a week, she sometimes fell back asleep without getting up at all. What this means for a 50-plus listener: calming the breath during nighttime urges retrains the bladder and helps restore sleep without medication. The gentle practice: instructional block. First, prepare before sleep. Sit at the edge of the bed, feet on the floor, and take 3 slow belly breaths. Feel your abdomen expand more than your chest. Next, visualize your pelvic floor muscles softening as you exhale. Imagine melting tension. Then, when you wake at night, repeat the same pattern before standing. Let at least 3 breaths pass before deciding whether you truly need to go. Finally, if you do get up, move slowly, keeping your breathing calm all the way to the bathroom and back. Avoid switching on bright lights. Keep the rhythm of rest. This simple breathing pelvic routine builds what doctors call parasympathetic tone, the body's internal brake. Over time, it reduces nocturnal urgency and allows longer sleep spans. The hidden emotional lift. Sleep isn't just recovery for the body, it's emotional repair. When Nocturia disrupts that process, even mild irritations become magnified. People often describe waking on edge, forgetting names, or losing patience for small things. The improvement that comes after just a few quiet nights of full rest is almost spiritual. I feel like myself again, one patient told a researcher after 2 nights without interruption. That's why it's never just about the bladder. It's about returning to that deep, trustful rest where the body knows it's safe to stay still. The quiet turning point. Many who practice this method say they stop fearing bedtime. What used to feel like a battlefield becomes a ritual of peace. Warm feet, elevated legs, slow breath, steady calm. Within 3 days, the night begins to belong to them again. Have you ever noticed your bladder reacts when you're tense or worried? Share your thoughts. Your insight may help someone else recognize the same link. Part 5. When the body learns to trust again. After nights of broken sleep, many older adults quietly lose faith in their own bodies. The fear of that sudden, urgent pull at 2 a.m. becomes a shadow that follows them to bed. But the truth is simple. The bladder can relearn peace. And when it does, the change touches everything: energy, balance, memory, even mood. Once the nervous system and bladder start syncing again, the results come gently, almost invisibly. The first sign? You wake up and realize it's morning, not midnight. The second? You notice your mind feels clearer, less foggy. These are the body's small thank yous for the rest it's been craving. The morning after. Susan, 67, from Minnesota, used to begin every day like she'd lost a fight with the night. It wasn't even the walking, she said. It was the dread. After following the 3-day reset, leg elevation, warmth, calm breath, she began sleeping 6 and 7 hours straight. Her mornings changed. She could smell her coffee before tasting it, notice sunlight slanting across the kitchen tiles, feel the rhythm of her steps steadier. It's not just about peeing less, she laughed. It's about remembering that I'm still strong. What this means for a 50-plus listener: better sleep from fewer bathroom trips renews clarity, balance, and emotional steadiness. The lifelong payoff. Each night you stay asleep longer, you reduce your risk of falls, improve blood pressure control, and protect cognitive health. Deep sleep releases growth hormones that help repair muscles and vessels, the same ones that keep you walking confidently. No pill can mimic what natural sleep rebuilds. Ignoring nocturia doesn't just mean fatigue. It may be associated with higher stress, foggy memory, and slower reflexes. Addressing it through simple daily habits, though, is a quiet act of self-preservation. Your gentle evening ritual, the stillness cue. First, lower the lights an hour before bed. Bright light tells your kidneys it's still daytime. Next, prepare your warm socks or soak, and let that comfort settle in. Then, take 3 calming belly breaths, telling yourself silently, "My body rests now." Finally, trust the process. You've earned sleep that stays. Over 3 days, over 3 weeks, this becomes a signal, not of aging, but of mastery. A soft invitation. If tonight you're reading this while worrying about another restless night, let this be your sign to start the reset. 3 days of small changes, warmth, timing, calm, can restore what you thought age had taken. Try it, observe, and share your result. Someone else scrolling in the dark might find hope in your story. And if you've found even one helpful insight here, subscribe to Senior Wisdom and Wellness, where every story reminds you that your best years can still rest easy. Thank you for being here, for caring for your health, and for showing that it's never too late to sleep through the night, peacefully, fully, and free.